Hey everybody, how you doing? We're going to do a really different one today. There's a lady that I watch. She does page 47, Christine Melinda. And she takes a book and she reads page 47. So I thought, heck, I'm going to try to do that. So like I took my book, Rick, and I was going to do page 47. But on the way to page 47, I remembered the picture of this is in the book. So let's talk about this because this is even cooler. This is what I call a walking wheelchair. It has no power sources for people with no legs or, limited amount of leg. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, what this is I'd like to share it. I'm giving this to the world. If you got a manufacturing and you want to create jobs, use this, create jobs. If you know somebody handicapped, use this, create jobs. I'm a problem-solving kind of guy. That's what I enjoy. So this is a no power source walking wheelchair for someone with no legs, side view. So right here is an air tank. So instead of a battery or a motor, air gets pumped into there. These on the feet, there would be 2 feet. These little sticks here are actually air pumps. You know, like pumping up a bicycle tire? Something like that. But manufactured for this with the right amount of resistance and all that. You know, like it needs to be tuned in. But a bike pump would actually work. Now, the cool thing about this is made so that we could ship a kit down to somewhere like a third world country. And or it could be built for like the super duper rich. So these legs here in the kit form could be just made out of wood wherever it's headed to or whatever, or a forest or people. Or if you just want to make it out of wood because it's cool and you could carve it into something like really crazy neat, that would also be for that purpose. Okay, the joints here are universals out of cars. So like even if you're in the little middle of nowhere, like from old country or whatever, quite often there's a car around. So you can get a couple of universals out of the drive shaft, or if they've got different parts, universals. But you could just use it. This is uses automotive universals in order to do that. Okay, up here is actuators. So let me discuss. This here is a belt, like a weight lift belt. This is like the saddle where the person's body gets formed into. These here are air lines that go down to the air pumps. As you do that with, you stand still and you rock back and forth and it pumps up the tank. And once it gets pumped up, it can be triggered and go start walking. In the toes are strikers out of, lighters for your barbecue. So the toes have strikers and it generates enough electricity, goes up here. The hips are actuated and it kicks them forward or back to operate that. Okay, so the whole idea is all this is really cheap, inexpensive, not like cheaply made like crap, but made very well. Now if you're like super rich, you can make these out of titanium, be Superman. Whatever the heck you want. You can make the toes springier, so if you were a runner kind of a thing. It needs to be adapted to different people with different applications. Some people, even with no legs, they still want to work, put in windows, car windows, like a gentleman around here, or be a carpenter, or whatever the heck they want to be. They don't have everything. It doesn't mean that they got to stop life, got to do what they got to do. So that's basically a no power source walking wheelchair. The harness, the belt, the actuator, and the knees, metal or wood. You can send like this part, and this part as a kit, say for a few $100 investment. Not necessarily to the person we're sending it to, if they're like have no money, but like for $1,000 you could send 3 instead of like 10,000 to send 1, that kind of thing. So I hope you like it. If you got the manufacturing ability, do it. Do it. Help people. I designed it to help people. I'm giving it to you to help people. 5 different companies. Start up and do it. So what? There's competition. Big deal. But initially, I started off heading to page 47 of my book. And darn it seems to be mathematically that page 47 is funny as heck in books. This one's where the babysitter mom hired. She needed to get out of the house for a final change. Got a job slaughtering chickens. And here, I'll just read it to you. So Mom got a job slaughtering chickens. Blood to her ankles by the first break. And no, she didn't like it. So she got a babysitter, and Ma working full-time job, Dad working in the city with 2 full-time jobs because we lived way out in the country. I mean, way out in the country. Like, we didn't see cars. That's how far. We seen buggies go by, like once a week. So to entertain, I'm not a professional child care worker, But you know those old ringer washers, those power rollers at the top, those old ones, Well, for fun, she put my brother in there and spun him until his arm broke. And we spent the rest of the afternoon, her coaching us to say he fell off the picnic table. I was a bit mad because it looked like fun, to be honest with you. I wanted to turn, not the arm breaking, but the spin like a great time. And I was next. I added a couple extra words there. But in hindsight, all afternoon, hello, kid with a broken arm. She never even got him help. We kids didn't lie. To the sitter's downfall, she got fired immediately, and as we were headed to the hospital. And to top it off, as she's leaving, her bags were rattling. Mom insisted on looking. Here's a sitter, had all the silverware in the house, anything she thought was valuable. 3/4 of Mom wages were going to her wage, and she was robbing us. I mean, like we were living in the country, okay? So how high end do you think our bought forks were worth? We didn't have toilet paper, we didn't have running water, and we didn't have a toilet.